ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
This is Soul Shine up here. We're going to have some fun, but you need to not sing from your seat. You sing from your feet. So please stand up. This first chant is going to be super easy. Donna's going to say a line, and then we just repeat it. It's that simple. And I'll make sure Donna doesn't go too crazy. Hint, hint. Extra crazy.
Okay.
Don't listen to the blind man next to you over here.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Oh yeah. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. Ah, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This sacred, this sacred, this sacred day. This sacred, this sacred, this sacred day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Here you go. Oh,
Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me.
Used to think that I had to. I used to think that I should. Cause the scripture told me.
21.
It said you gotta be good. But now I love cause I want to. Now I love cause I'm free. Blinded by the Spirit, yeah. I said the Spirit of God is upon me. Yes,
Here we
it
go.
is.
Sing. Come on. Spirit.
Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me.
Oh,
Spirit of God is upon me.
oh.
Church.
Good morning. Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Community of Central Oregon. You know, aloha, ha is the breath. Yeah, ha. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be hosting today. I'll introduce the rest of our team. We are a wild soul sanctuary. Aroo! You know where that came from, right? Kind of Rafe, one of our concert goers, started that. We just went up to Rafe's concert in Portland last week, and it was so funny. The whole audience there started howling when he introduced himself the same way. We're like, our friends, our wolf friends are here, wild people. It was pretty awesome that carries around everywhere you go. Here in Central Oregon, though, at Unity Spiritual Community, we have a mission statement, and all are welcome. And let's say our mission statement together, if you would. Ta-da! Mission statement. Ta-da! And the mission statement is, we stand together to create a global ecosystem of unity, deep wisdom, and loving kindness. Thank you for affirming that with me. I want to also acknowledge, we have two things to acknowledge. This chair right here is a space where we can put people who we wish were here. Maybe they're gone, maybe they just couldn't make it, maybe they've passed on. If there's somebody in your heart that you would love to be a part of this energy today, just place them right there and let them enjoy with us. And we also want to acknowledge, of course, the indigenous people. Tomorrow is Indigenous Peoples Day, and we always want to acknowledge their presence here first, and for allowing us to be present here too. The Warm Springs, Pasco, and Wasco, and the Paiute, mixing my letters up, were some of the original tribes, and I understand there are probably others that we're not always aware of, so I'm trying to find out more about that, and if anybody has some really deep connections and they want to share with us, that'd be awesome, because we really want to acknowledge the true ancestors, and I know there's a lot, it's hard to acknowledge everybody, of course, but we respectfully acknowledge that their presence was here and allowed us to be here, so thank you. Wow, I've got this weird energy this morning, like something's trying to come out. I'm not sure. It might come out a little later, might come out right now. I'm not sure when, but just be careful, be ready. Okay. Something's going to burst out. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. Our team today is me, Kevin, our speakers. We have 3 reverends going to be on the stage that are not these girls. They're just enjoying this comfortable chairs, but we're going to have 3 of our wonderful reverends, Reverend Jane, Reverend Cylvia, Reverend Tamera. We have Reverend Jane's going to do our opening prayer for us in just a moment. Soulshine, as you've already heard a sampling of, our amazing music ministry here. Youth team, we have Genesis and Margaret handling our youths. Where are they? Anyway, they're back here someplace. Donna's going to do a beautiful meditation and a poem for us, I understand. We always love those. And Nico is in the back on live stream, along with Chris on camera and Joanne handling our slides. Big round of applause for our crew. And there are a lot of other people besides these on the screen that help make Sundays really work. So I want to make sure we acknowledge everyone that quietly works behind the scenes to make this a beautiful day for everyone here. So thank you, crew. And let's have Jane come and do us a welcoming prayer.
So just before I begin to actually pray, let me just remind you about prayer. The way that we do it here is we're affirming what is truth. And out in the world, we see evidence all over of things that distress us on so many levels. We see conflict, we see lack. But what we're reminding ourselves in prayer is that's not the deepest truth. The deepest truth we find within. We find in higher consciousness. And from there, as we focus on that, we bring into form that which aligns with higher consciousness. So we are not praying outward to some power in the sky who is going to give us what we can't do ourselves. We are reminding ourselves that we are one with that wholeness, that life force, that we have that power when we choose to access it. So you have green forms in the pockets in front of you, and that's your place to write down what you want to see in this world and in your life. And write it as present. It is now. This is what we claim. And then our whole team will affirm it with you. And we're going to give you some time. Dave will play some music for you to write those in. But that's how we do it here. So we're going to start this morning with prayer. And we know that there has been tremendous turmoil this week over in Israel, in the halls of Congress, in Ukraine, perhaps in some of our families. But into that turmoil, we bring peace. The peace that passes mental understanding, the peace that is deep and true. We know that this peace has healing power, and we allow it to rest in our hearts. We allow it to calm our minds. We allow it to take us into the creative void, that state of emptiness from which all is birthed. We say, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, right here, right now. Let this be a gathering today where my heart grows more peaceful, where I become a radiant center of peace for the world. And so it is.
Take a couple of minutes and fill out those prayer forms in front of you in the pocket. Our prayer team will pray with that for a week and then send it off to Silent Unity. We have prayers in the white shawls. It'll be after a service up front if you want to pray with them. Sing with us the prayer song.
Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let's go and know I breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let's go and know I
Thank you. Soul shine. Are you guys like me? Do you always just envision yourself on the top of a mountain when they're singing that, going, I am, and just like, oh, God's everywhere, everything's beautiful, and you can fly, and I haven't tried the flying thing yet, but I'm feeling it, like it might work. That's such an amazing, maybe that's what's coming. Yeah, I'm gonna launch off the stage. Well, right now it's celebrations time, and I have two lovely helpers, Evelyn and Mary, coming up and grab mics. Celebrations is a time when anybody here can share a really quick something that you're happy about. What are you happy about right now in your life? What's going on? Good. And also, has there been a prayer that maybe has been answered or supported that you're really excited about and want to just share the response to that? If so, raise your hand and give these girls something to do. Okay, boom, I see 1, 2 over there. Watch this side over here, Mary. I know these people got good stuff too.
I want to share that we had an amazing experience yesterday at OSU. There was a cultural experience presented by Warm Springs tribes, and I believe others, and with all sorts of beautiful beadwork and drumming classes, and it was, how to make a drum, and music, and food, and of course, fry bread. It was it was so amazing, and I am so inspired now to take a trip up to Warm Springs and take a look at their cultural center, and if anybody wants to come with me, I would love to share that.
Woo! Nice. Right over here, Karen.
Good morning. So one of my granddogs just had puppies. So I am great Grammy to 6 beautiful little pups.
Yay! Right back there, there's one of them. There's 2. Pick one, pick one.
I think I'm invisible. I have just, speaking of drumming, I was here yesterday with a few others to witness my first drumming circle. I've always wanted to go out to Sisters. It was right here. I want to tell you, it was amazing energy. And I invite you to come back first Saturday of the month. I'm also really excited about another Rewilding Women's Circle that I'm doing starting Tuesday. It's an opportunity to hear your own truth, be more authentic, drop into our heart space. It's amazing. If you're interested, I'd love to have a conversation with you later. So,
Ooh, yeah. I think we could hear the drums all the way at our house down the street, too. It was pretty crazy in here. One over here.
I'm celebrating that when it starts snowing, I'm going to do this giant bonfire for my fire blessing.
Oh, are you going to invite us all too? Are we all invited to your giant bonfire? Yeah? Okay. Nice. On this side, Emery.
I have 2 quick celebrations. One, I just came back from the coast with 6th graders, and we spent 3 nights there, and it was really great weather, and the kids were great. And it was a wonderful trip. And the other celebration is that my daughter Jessica and her boyfriend moved to Hawaii.
What?
And so the trip there was great, and within a half a week, they both got jobs. So, yeah.
Nice. Any more on that? Okay, one more right here. Right here, Evelyn.
So this is the first time in my whole life of 70 years that I'm on the leaderboard to win a trip to Thailand in February. Woo. And I still need 43 points before October 27th so that my husband gets to join me fully paid for. So I'm putting in a prayer request, and I'm seeing that as being so, but I'm excited.
Yeah. Woo. All right, did we have one more over there? Okay, right back there. Oh, and then also one more in the back. So Evelyn, you can head back to Nico. Nico's got one. We got one right there.
Today we have a great celebration at the house. It's feeling great.
Yay! Was that an invite, or was that just, okay. All right, one more back there, Evelyn. Nico.
All right, we have a couple of online celebrations. Shannon Blaze is celebrating that they are in college as of this week. Bachelor's degree in healthcare management with a concentration in health informative. And they've been a single parent for 24 years now, rocking it. And then Leah, our wonderful Zoom host, is celebrating having this week off and taking a vacation with her sweetie. She is also celebrating hearing her kiddo get the giggles last night. It's been a long time since I've heard so much laughter, and it was magical.
Yay. Woo! Thank you, online people. Hey, also online, we didn't remind you guys, but you can submit prayer claims online through the online form. And anyone here during the week, it doesn't have to be just today, you can go on our website and submit a prayer claim, and we will get them and respond to them if you want a response. So don't forget that's available all the time, all week long. Did we have one? One more, okay. One last one. He really, really wants to share this. We're always happy to hear our little ones sharing too. So.
I'm so glad to be in kindergarten.
Woo! All right, beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Can't top that. Being in kindergarten. And the Earth has a celebration. This is our Earth speaking to us. The Norwegian government has completed the largest rewilding project in its history by cleaning and restoring a massive coal mining site on the Arctic island of Svalbard. Polar bears, reindeer, Arctic fox, and seabirds are now moving back into the former industrial town nestled in a remote fjord, which before its closure had its own power station, wharf, water supply, and everything else that's necessary to house up to 300 workers and run mining operations on a large scale. But all traces of that human activity are now gone, and they're inviting back the natural residents. So that's pretty awesome. Good job. And I'm going to invite Donna to share a poem with us.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, I was extremely moved by a share by Eric about his beloved Zeke. And so this poem is dedicated to 3 beings in this room that have 8 legs altogether. It's called a Zeke peek. Let's take a peek into the life of our Zeke. He may not speak, but he sure communicates a streak. A 4-legged loyal friend and buddy who lifts Eric and Menace's spirits when they feel cruddy. Still hasn't learned yet how to wipe his paws when they are muddy, but that's okay, he's no fuddy-duddy. Yellow labs are a spectacular breed, always there to help when Eric is in need. So many instructions he's had to heed, and always rewarded with treats for his good deed. And so now his work life is ending. So many at Unity he has been befriending. Many blessings to you, Zeke, we are sending. Our love for you is unending.
We should have an honorary membership plaque for him. He's been such a special part of our congregation for so long. It's amazing. All right, kiddos. Who wants to get blessed? Come on up. Come on up, all you young'uns who want to go party with Genesis. Come on, come on, come on. All right. We got 3. Well, you got it easy today. All right, let's do our blessing and send them off on their way. If you'd join me, please. We appreciate the holy gift you are. We see the Christ light shining from you. May you always know what a treasure you are. May you always bring your gifts freely and fully to the world. Namaste. Hello. Have fun, you guys. Now we can get to the good stuff, our announcements. We have returning of Sound Bath tonight. Yay, it's been on hiatus for a couple of weeks. It's back on regular schedule tonight, so if you haven't been to it or if you're missing it, I know a lot of you have been saying, when's Sound Bath? They're back tonight, so come on back. The very next thing we have going on, we also have Open Sing is resuming again this week with Uncle Dave. And we have the women's group, and Suzanne's leading that out on a hike or something exciting this week too. Not tonight. No, it's this. Never mind on the Open Sing. I stand corrected. We're trying to get slides, but it's not quite working. So I'll just tell you what's going on here. Hey, spirit groups, we've been doing phenomenal. You guys have been rocking it, signing up for spirit groups. There are just a few spots left on 3 of the groups, I think, and the sign-up sheets are on the table right outside the door. If you have any inclination to tighten your community, your friendship here, connect with people, consider a spirit group. It's an absolutely amazing way to do that. So there's just, I think, 3 or 4 spots available on some of those sheets out there. There's going to be a membership info gathering. So if you're interested in membership to become a Unity member, an official member, Reverend Jane's going to be hosting a membership gathering, and this is going to be Monday, October 16th on Zoom at 7 p.m. So if you're working during the day, you want to do it on Zoom, and Sunday in person after service on October 29th. Those will be on the calendar, but kind of keep that in your head or mark it down. It's a great way to, even if you're not quite sure yet if you want to be a member, it's a great way to find out what that's all about and to learn a little bit more about Unity in general and our history and our principles and all that. So Reverend Jane will be leading those. And Reverend Jane is also going to be doing a newcomers potluck dinner. If you guys haven't been to one of her dinners, you're missing out. She hosts an amazing dinner party October 17th, Tuesday evening. They're limited usually to about 6 people. So sign up, save your spot. We alternate between our house and Jane's house every month. So if you're new-ish, or if you've just never been to one, or even if you're old and you want to come to one, that's okay too. You can do it. You can come. Just come commune with us. The drumming circle, Claire mentioned how awesome that was. And we have just a short little video, but this is going to be from now on, first Saturday every month, right here. So drop in, come check it out. You got to play a little video and show them what Claire was doing. Fun. No, they have some drums that you can use. If you have a drum, you can bring it, or if you've got a rattle, shaker, thingamajig, or air horn, whatever. No, you can't bring those. Tambourine, that's better. Yeah, I think that'd be better. But no, you don't have to, and I think there's going to be a drum making class coming up, actually, where you can make your own drum at Katie's place, and we're trying to get a men's drumming circle. Any guys here think they might be interested in a drumming circle? I know I am, for sure. Cool, okay, so we'll have more info on that. We'll see. Then we'll have a competition, like boys on this side, girls on this side. Bam, bam, bam. I think it's going to be awesome. Okay, and there's a lot more stuff on the calendar. Check it out. More stuff coming up. Always look online to see what's going on. And you know what we have today that we haven't had in a long time that's super special? We have a Souls on Fire. Have you guys heard of that? Some of you long-timers heard of Souls on Fire. It's a chance for anybody here who's had some sort of spiritual, amazing, or moving thing happen to them to share in 5 minutes one quick story about your experience. And we're lucky enough to have Lawrence, who's going to share today. He's gone through some very transformative things, and so he's going to be sharing his Souls on Fire. And that'll start right now. Here, Lawrence. It's on platform 1. Or do you want to use this? You can use this mic if that's easier for you.
I've got 5 minutes to tell my whole life story. No, it's not going to happen, Lawrence. All right. I'll just start like 8 years ago when my wife Lorraine and I joined Unity in the Grange Hall with all its dusty spaces and fixed chairs and so on. But there was a unifying energy that brought us all together. And it's the first principle of unity, that God is all that is. And we were all experiencing that. But then 3 years later, we moved into this space, which was a very dark space. It had no windows. Everything was really dark and dead. And the community that was here was deader. And we brought life and light into this space, and you see it and feel it right now, and it keeps growing. That's what we as a community have done as one. And that has to do with the second principle, the unifying principle that the divinity is in all things, all of life. Well, the principle of the spark of divinity also worked through Lorraine and I in seeking that kind of unity within our relationship, and it took us on journeys to Hawaii, Vienna, Switzerland, Egypt, Peru, and on some individual retreats as well. And after these retreats, both of us have come back with a new vision or a new sense of identity that has helped us to understand more of who we really are. And in our relationship of bonding, there is a space which is opening up beyond this relationship, which calls us each to go our own separate ways from hereafter. And I know it's a sad thing at first. And at first I felt like I was a victim of the situation. But as learning that we have gifts hidden within each challenge, we recognized upon meditation that, yes, this is a gift in hiding. It may not be easy, but some of the greatest gifts come after the most profound challenges, as we have all learned. And so this gift has emerged slowly at first, because I was really struggling with this for quite a long time. And after 3 previous marriages, I was not looking forward to a further divorce. But it became really clear to me that it's how I regard this separation that's the most important. And I regard it as a divine opportunity, and so does Lorraine. We will not lose touch with each other. We will remain friends and be very caring of each other and all of you. And we intend to remain friends and relations with all of you, but in some cases from a distance. In my case, it will be from the East Coast, because I'm going to be moving in line with the spiritual guidance I have received as a result of going on one of these spiritual retreats just a few weeks ago in Charlottesville and Richmond, Virginia. And I've connected with a group of people there who I've known on Zoom for 2 years, called Sanctuary of Earth. And its alignment with Light Path, the organization that I founded 8, 9 years ago, will show a bonding from East to West Coast, a unification of vision of helping to nurture the development of human consciousness to the point where we can come from our total heart space as well as our head space in total balance and harmony with the frequency of unification. And I found this unification personified when I visited Charlottesville for a 5-hour solo stint, imbued with the energy and intelligence and the heart space of one of the greatest statesmen of this country's history, Thomas Jefferson. And I aligned so directly with him. I saw myself in relationship with him as an older brother to me. He was a philosopher. He was a visionary. He was an architect. He was a leader. He was a man who went way beyond the norm. He declared independence for this nation beyond all the odds against it, and his example helped to be represented around the world in countless other nations. And so I've decided that that energy is what's calling me forth in the next journey on my life. Jefferson died 50 years after 4th of July, which was spearheaded by the Declaration of Independence. I had a breakthrough experience in 1974 living in San Francisco that set my life asunder in this direction. And my book that is now transformed into my own story, not a novel, will be published on the 50th anniversary of that revelation in 1974. So I'm telling you this because I'm not intending to celebrate my separation. I'm celebrating here my unification with you, where time and distance are of no significance whatsoever. They don't exist except in the mind. And now I'm not just from my mind, I'm from my heart as well, totally. And I'm here to share that with you as a result of being a member of this community. It has helped me to come to that realization. Thank you very much.
It takes a lot of courage to share something that personal and deep. So thank you so much for being brave and sharing that. And we, of course, support both of you in your journeys. And we love you both as always and always will. So thank you. Soulshine, come on up and rock the house.
He likes my new guide dog. What? He likes my new guide dog. That would be you. Woof. I don't give Dave treats. Whoa, I got hot mic here.
Woof to you too.
Got a little. Up a parking with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. But don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Well, they paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh, yeah, they paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh, they took all the trees and put them in a tree museum. And they charge the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, hey, farmer, put away that DDT. Give me spots on my apples and leave me the birds and the bees. Please, 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 don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Yeah, they paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Or in the case of Starbucks, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Hey. Yeah, play, Dave. Give him something else to focus on.
Get rid of that cheese.
screen door slam. And a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Oh, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Well, they paved paradise, put up a parking lot. But don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Well, they paved paradise, they put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Yeah, oh, well, they paved paradise.
Put up a parking lot.
Very nice. We have a really special presentation today, which is Ask the Ministers. Some of you have been part of this. We've had it periodically. So we have 3 of our beloved reverends. It's no accident they're all women, because we do have some pretty nice, strong woman leadership here in this community. So we're very proud of our leaders, and 3 of them are here, and this is a chance for you to ask any question you want. Spiritual questions, personal questions, whatever it is. Jane loves the really personal, intimate questions. So I'm going to invite our reverends, Reverend Jane, our senior minister, Reverend Cylvia, and Reverend Tamera. Come on up and grab the stage. And Claire's got a microphone that we will pass around for anyone in the audience. And this only happens with your participation, so please ask questions. Don't make me ask all the questions, because they're going to be really embarrassed if I start asking them. So yes, we have one right here from Anita. Claire, right behind you.
I would love to hear your response to this statement. What if our only purpose here was to be happy?
What if our only purpose here is to be happy? And I'm sorry, we only have just one mic for you guys to share, other than Jane. She's got a mic. Yeah.
Am I starting? Oh, my goodness. Oh, yay. Okay. What a great observation and statement. And so if you think of being connected to spirit, to the divine, to the universe, and you take in the understanding that each of us is amazing in each and every way, we can consider the obstacles that come up and perhaps kick our backsides as the gift to your own self-understanding of your connection, that something so much greater than ourselves is intended to lead us through. And we have the unity principles that help us address this. And we also have community in order to remind us of our incredible essence when all too often we cannot remember it ourselves. And so with each step connecting to something greater than ourselves, we can find that joy and happiness here on earth.
That I'm not going to agree with that that's what our purpose is, to be happy. And I think happy is a tricky word. I think peace, joy, I resonate with those a lot more than happy, because happy feels transitory. That's a good word for it. It's based on conditions. And you know, if I'm sitting in Israel right now, I'm probably not happy. You know, but that doesn't mean that there isn't good happening there. That doesn't mean that I can't find deep peace in there or hope. I think that our purpose really is to be creating. And so creating joy by emanating it, you know, that to me is an alignment. But not to be at the throes of circumstances. I want to live from a place that is deeper than that. And there are times when I or any of us are going to be really sad. We're going to be really scared. Emotions are transitory. But there's a deep peace and joy that comes from knowing that we are one with creation and being creators ourselves. That'd be my take.
I would just say ditto. Seriously, that's my value right there.
There you go.
The other way around once in a while, geez. Hopefully this is a simple question. In my head, it's clear as, mud. But what are your guys' takes on soul contracts? Do you believe that we are living up to a soul contract from either the body's a rented body and our souls continuing, or what is your take on soul contracts?
I think it's rough to do an Ask the Minister in a group that has so much depth already. I just want to celebrate our courage up here for a minute. I really don't know. I've thought about it quite a bit. I have my own thing going on in my life that just kind of has been going on now for a number of years that I don't feel like I signed up for, but it is a defining part of this particular journey that I'm on. So I often say I don't know if there's purpose in everything that or purpose behind everything that happens, but I know that we can find purpose in it. So that's where I go with it. I feel like I can apply it more directly to, okay, I might have signed up for this shit because I'm doing some good with it. Then I can when I see people who really, really have come into a rough road in this life. I can't in good conscience say, oh, that's just what they signed up for sometimes back. I don't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah. Can I just do ditto on that one again? So true. Sometimes my prayer is to be seen for how I show up, and boy, we just nailed that, didn't we? Just kind of as an adjacent tangent, many of you know that I'm one of the infinite possibility trainers under Mike Dooley, and Mike has just lately been really into past life and past life regression and all that sort of thing, and we're hearing a lot about it. And so, my only response is that if we believe there's a past life, and if it comes with us into each generation when we show up here, maybe that's the soul story, and that something's up some way for healing, lifetime after lifetime. And, that's the only thing I can think of around that, because I agree with Cylvia. There are times that I look at my life going, really? And I also think it's important that soul gets confused with something that I would call spiritual bypass. We can't just spiritually think we can walk over this and not feel it and express it and experience it. There isn't any bypassing of what the universe or spirit or God brings to us. It's about the walking through.
It's kind of in the same family as past lives. It's a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure that past lives are a thing. I've been a hypnotherapist for over 30 years, and so I've done a lot of past life work with people. And yet, I read a book one time from somebody who also had done a lot of past life work, and she was doing a regression with somebody. This was kind of a long session, and they were talking about this whole lifetime, and we're in it, and then they moved on to this next lifetime, which was actually intersecting the one that they had just had. And so that sort of blew her mind, and she's asking for guidance on how could this be happening? How could they be in two places physically at one time? And the answer that she was given was that it's like we're kind of a pod, and so if the three of us are in one pod and you're having this experience over here, to me it feels like it's my experience, because in consciousness we are one. Which brings us back to a unity principle you might have heard of about we are one. And so, it's one of those things that is a really great conversation late at night with a lot of coffee, It's so interesting, but I don't know if we're ever going to have the definitive answer about it, and I don't know that it matters. Ultimately, what matters is right here and right now, the experiences that are happening to me. Am I going to make them mean something that enlivens me and gives grace to others? And so if a belief that I've been here before, and there sure seems to be evidence of it, if that belief brings me peace, then that's a good belief to hold. Yeah.
Thank you. Eric, we're bringing a mic over to you, along with the baby. You got to hold the baby while you ask your question.
I will try to keep this short, but I'm excited. I have decided that I am done sitting on my dreams, and I want to actually bring them about. And I've been starting to go through courses and things that I bought years ago that have been sitting on my shelf. I won't make the stupid joke. Shelf help is okay. Now, see, you say it, and I have to say it. There, I said it. So they were shelf help instead of self help. But anyway, now that I was at breakfast with Nico the other day, and out of the blue, knowing nothing about what I was doing, he asked me, "So what would you invest in yourself if you?" And I'm just like, okay, that just sort of shows this has some validity, because he had no idea, I don't think, that I was starting on this journey. But I realized that my journey was what I was originally asking the universe for was a little short. If I was going to do everything I wanted to do, I would need to be bringing in about 10 grand in addition to what I'm bringing in now, because I would like to take what I'm bringing in now and just shove it into savings without even giving it a thought. But my question is, I know that you're supposed to, the idea is to feel the feelings of having already manifested this, but the bills still got to be paid, and the money is not yet coming so how do you reconcile where you are with where you are trying to, well, I don't even know if trying is the right word, because then you get into Yoda territory, where you are. Like, if you say, I'm making an extra 10,000, it just hasn't manifested itself yet, but it's gonna. But then how do you say that when you've got, well, I've still got to pay this stuff, and I'm still barely able to cover the expenses I have. How do you do that?
Yeah. And that is to recognize that the material world, where the bills are and the shortage of money appears to be, is not the realm of creation. So the realm of creation is in consciousness, and it's from there that we affect it here. But unless we are ascended masters, we're not just snapping our fingers and, oh, there's this gold in my hand. There's a process to it, and we get impatient because we believe time is so real. But if we can spend time every day just in the place of knowing that there is more, and just listening for guidance and seeing what comes, then it comes to pass. And it comes to pass there's always this or something better, because even our imaginations have limits that our fear puts on them. But going into that realm of imagination and seeing it, Gay and Kathleen Hendricks are two individuals that I studied with. And Gay talks about in one of his books how he decided at one point to just start imagining that he had $1,000 more coming in every month, because every month they were falling short by a certain amount. And so he just started telling himself that he had this amount, and he imagined it, and the two of them would walk along and they'd be window shopping and they'd see things that they'd like and they'd say, well, we could get that if we wanted. And they wouldn't get it because the cash wasn't in hand yet, but they would tell themselves that. And so they were kind of acting as if in their minds. And I think it took him a few months, and then he was getting $1,000 extra a month, and they said, oh, let's go for $10,000. And ultimately that worked too, because the only limits we have are what we put on ourselves. And so if we take those limits off and allow the divine that we are to express through us, who knows what could happen. So
I have a couple thoughts. First of all, kudos for getting off the shelf help. I mean, I think that's great. And kind of following on that, we're sliding into Halloween. What do you call two witches who share an apartment? Broom mates. Arr, 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 arr. I love lame jokes. So I have had a lot of lack thinking in my life. I wound up on my own at 16, and I think it really set a pattern. And actually my parents even demonstrated some of it significantly before that. I've also had times when I have made, for me, quite significant money. And I feel like this is an area where I've maybe had my biggest breakthrough over the last few years. And some of the things that have helped me is shifting the thinking that I have to have a certain amount of money to do this part of my work. I've also gone in and out of lack in part because I've had a really unconventional life. It's been more important for me to do my work, to do my environmental work, to work on issues that I care about than it has been to be financially secure in a steady, what one would call a normal steady job. So that's just a pathway that I took. But the breakthroughs have definitely been broadening it out to resources and telling myself, I have all the resource I need to express everything I am here to express. That has been helpful. And also, there's a wonderful little tool in A Course in Miracles. It's very simple, but it's choose again. Choose again. When I find myself going to the lack, when I find myself worried about the exact number in the bank account, choose again. Choose again. I know there's more coming in than this. It's all stuff you know, Eric, and I know you know it. It is being intentional to embody it. And I'll tell you, the imagination thing, I think I learned this in one of Jane's prosperity classes, is great. I'll give you a super quick, direct example. This is from several years ago. And I had a dog at the time who you could only do her toenails with one of those Dremel things. She was just too paranoid about the clipper. And the little Dremel tool broke. And I was broke at the time. And I tried to get a battery. It's more expensive to get a battery than to get a replacement. Planned obsolescence. That pissed me off right there, right? The whole thing. It's like, okay, more plastic garbage. But I was just sweating getting this $50 or $60 tool, and then I think I was taking one of your classes at the time, and I was like, all right, how would a wealthy, successful, financially independent person be feeling about having to spend $60 on? They would be grateful that they had resources to take the very best care of their beloved, beloved friend. And that's exactly the attitude that I shifted into before I even went into the store. So it's just the discipline, it's the mind discipline. And I'm affirming and believing you getting everything you need to maximize your talent and what you want to do right now.
I want to anchor us on this idea that money is a currency that we only use here on earth right now. And, you know, what Jane has said, what Cylvia has said, and yes, there's a whole lot of infinite possibility stuff that's about to come out of my mouth. When we start looking at what abundance means, it can be giving your gifts in some way. And since Eric brought up the question, imagine the abundance each and every one of us receive, whether we're online or in this room, every time he sings. We are receiving, and there are times, and Eric, I'm sorry I'm going to do this to you, but it's like I see just like light and energy dropping from the heavens when his vocal cords connect through that microphone and share it with all of us. And so when we focus on giving and receiving as your monetary value of abundance, we're making it so much bigger than a dollar amount. And I also want to anchor into, and just like you, Cylvia, when I took the prosperity class from Jane, I found out I really struggle to receive from someone else or something else. And I was in a situation where somebody had an extra 5-and-ride ticket for the mountain here in Mount Bachelor, and we were new to town, and I found them on Facebook and said, yeah, we could use one. And I felt guilty about it by saying yes, because, you know, there was enough money in the bank account that I could have paid for it for my son myself. And so this person who gifted my son this kept following up with us throughout the year, asked what were we doing, how were we enjoying it, and boy, it just set him free. He is now a huge snowboarder, and a lot more money of my bank account has left to cover his expenses. And I thanked her at one point, and she said, you don't understand the gift that we got. We didn't know that the little person that I had bought this for was too young, and to have your stories and everything else come back, I shared it with her each and every time. And so she's so excited to hit the mountain for the first time next year. And so when we translate receiving as perhaps as a gift for someone else, you have the greatest amount of abundance radiating through you, with you, and around everyone else.
Awesome, thank you. If there's anyone online too, I've got one right over here. William?
Hi, this is a question kind of specifically for Reverend Jane, but I lost my father last week. Well, he passed. I don't like to say the word lost because I don't really believe in that. But his spirit has passed on, and I'm just curious as to what your beliefs are on what happens to the soul after we go through the death process and leave this carbon-based life form that we're all kind of trucking around in currently. And I have my own beliefs, but I'm curious as to what yours are. So, thank you.
Well, I believe that energy can't be destroyed. And so your father is still present. Is his attention on this realm? Maybe. I mean, I think in the beginning, for sure. I don't know if it stays. When my father died, I remember I wasn't there. He was in Florida. I knew he was in the process. And this beautiful poem came through me. And he was saying, in essence, he was saying that that's not where he is anymore. But look to the skies above, look to the river, look all around, he's everywhere. that was just what was flowing through me. And the poem is much nicer than what I'm saying right now, because I can't remember the exact words, but I just knew he was there. And when my sister died, it was the same kind of thing. I just knew, and I actually had a friend who could feel spirits and sense them, and she was in my office one day, and she said, "Oh, your sister's here." And she said, "She's just curious about what you do," and it was just like, oh, all right. So, I think that they are around, at least for a while, and then what happens when you leave this body is that you're not hemmed in by form. You're part, we're already part of all that is, but we don't feel like it because we're so aware of these bodies. And when the bodies aren't there, we're just like, phew. Did you ever see that movie, Powder? Did you see that, William? Yeah, so remember at the end when he's running, if you haven't seen it, he's running, and all of a sudden he had been hit by lightning in his life. And as he's running, maybe he gets hit by lightning again. I can't remember, but what I do remember is that he just bursts into the sky. And there's all these colors, and he's just energy, and there's no body left. And I think that's what happens. And, I tend to believe that there's some kind of a soul review, and there's, that we come back again to do the next thing. But, all the details, I don't know. I just know there's only death of the physical form. Everything else is always life.
I would just quickly add, I've had several mystical experiences where I have really profoundly lost a sense of a physically bounded body and have really felt that connection to the vastness. And when people talk about wanting to live forever, I'm like, hell no. Because, I love my body, and it's been a good one. It is a good one, and I love this life, but I think it's so limited. I think there's so much more to do. And I'll offer you one other concept that may be helpful. There's a shamanistic concept that we all have individual souls when we come into this realm. We also have an oversoul that has never believed in disconnection or separation. And when we pass from these bodies, this individual soul brings all of this experience, all of everything, and reconnects to our true oversoul that then goes and does whatever it's going to do. So I think that's a cool visual for me.
So 3 years ago, I called upon Cylvia to be my coach because of her story. And I have a story to tell, and I felt so inspired by how she handled the world. Part of the reason I haven't told my story is because of the ugliness of the feedback that people can have. And so I've been struggling with this question of the timing of it. And I've also been saying to myself, I'm only going to tell my story if there's a compelling reason to tell my story. So the question I guess I have is like, when do you decide to press the green light? Because the story is important for a lot, on so many different levels. And yet I'm fighting with my ego. I'm fighting with people that may or may not exist. I'm fighting with all of these these beliefs that I have about it. And I just finished reading Cylvia's book, and if you have not delved into that book, I've known her for 4 years. She's a friend. Oh my goodness, I just am blown apart. That's the word. That's the title of the book, When Life Blows Apart. Anyway, so the question is, when do you press that green? When do you know the right time to do something that's a little bit of a fight with your ego, a little bit based on fear, but at the same time, I know the gifts that can happen?
And it's just like those of you who are parents or considered being parents and chose not to, the question that people are always asking is, well, is it okay to bring a child into the world? You know, because there's the world. But people have been asking that forever. And you have a gift that's inside of you that wants to be born, and it has nothing to do with what will happen to it once it comes out, or who will think what, you know, because those are just mirrors, you know, out there. So you bring it forth because it's in you. And in the Gospel of Thomas, which is one that didn't make the press when the Nicene Council met in the year 300, but in the Gospel of Thomas it says, whatever is within you, if you bring it forth, it will give you life. If you leave it inside you, it will destroy you.
I would just also add, I have faced the dragon when it comes to the kind of public scrutiny that you're talking about. Happened again this week, same newspaper, spreading lies again. And I just take it head on now, but I had to do the work that I talk about in the book to take back my need for external validation. I also, that's what the book that finally came through me was the 5th complete iteration, because I had to let go, even my TED Talk, I struggled with it. I had to let go of what's in this for me and wanting to do the story to exonerate myself. I had to genuinely get to the place where it really doesn't matter what happened to me. What matters is what came through and what good it can do. And I think that's the main thing. And I'm here to tell you, if you get beat up publicly, you survive it. You survive it. I used to call it the big ordeal. I now call it the initiation, you know? So, yeah, happy to talk with you offline about it.
Thank you. We're going to take a couple more. Got time for just one or two more. If we could just grab one more question from back here has been waiting. Anybody on this side of the room? We have one more back here. Anybody on this side for the last question? No?
Hi, I'm Tommy, and I've never been to a fellowship like this. I come from a more Reformed Baptist theology, but the path that I was on actually led me to be, my family to be systematically dismantled and excommunicated from the church. I've heard a lot of good things here today. I know that Scripture refers to God as I am, and then I heard Christ, Jesus referred, and then the Gospel of Thomas also. So I want to ask, what place does Jesus have in this building, if that's okay, not offensive to ask in a public forum, but that's really what's on my heart right now.
Great question. Thank you, Tommy.
Teaching a class on the mystical teachings of Jesus, and it was such a powerful, powerful class. I wish you could all have been in it. And I'll probably just offer it again. So for unity, we call Jesus the way shower. Jesus is the one, or not the only one, but he is one who was aware, or at least awakened to his connection with the all, that he referred to as the Father. And Father is another word for source. He said, I am one with the Father, the one that we all came from. And so that's where we see Jesus. Unity was founded as practical Christianity. And as time has gone on, even the founders had, widely studied world religions. And that's part of why it was called unity, because they realized that the same truth is evident in every religion. Now, once you get above the layer of truth into dogma and all the trappings, then you get a lot of differences, but the truth is the same. What I find here is that the people who are attracted here are most nourished by teachings from multiple sources. So if every single week I was talking about Jesus, there are some people that wouldn't stay. But I also, like I was at the coast this weekend and went into something that was a metaphysical bookstore. And inside there was all kinds of Wicca stuff, and there were lots of crystals. And I thought, well, wow, metaphysical, as I've studied it in Unity, just means beyond the physical, you know. And I think that one of the things that has happened is Jesus and Christian teachings, like the mystical teachings of Jesus, as opposed to the religion and all the stuff that goes with that, that has kind of gotten thrown out with the bathwater. And it's important for us to be able to also study those teachings because they are mind-blowing and life-changing. But they're not the only teachings that have that power. So does that answer your question? Thank you for asking that, Tommy. That's a great question.
So I'm ordained in world religions. So and my father is a survivor of Nazi Germany, and it was Jewish, of course. And so the joke became, from the Jewish side, we don't pray to a middleman. But in my teachings, this idea that every spiritual entity is a teacher and that each one of them has something to share, something that's amazing. I recently did a workshop where somebody said, you know, if Jesus Christ in the form that we think we know him came down today, we were likely to lock him away. And so the best example of how people see whatever connection to spirit, to the divine, to God that I can think of is I was in Israel. And I'm a little charred up right now because I have 3 friends that have not been found yet, so excuse me. And I was at a location where in Israel they say that Christ took his first baptism. And if you know anything about Judaism, baptism isn't a thing on that side. And so being an odd human being, which I most definitely am, I went to find anybody that had anything spiritual on their bodies and ask, what's their definition? What do they believe? Why do they think that this is the place of baptism? And the end result is we found a rabbi, we found a Buddhist monk. I mean, it was, and each of them told basically the story of origin and the connection of removing yourself from the veil here on earth to that is spiritual and leads you. And so now the Lord Jesus Christ for me is just one of the amazing teachers that allow us to connect to something so much more divine.
I would just offer, I can still get very angry at Christianity. Part of my ministry here, not here, but my whole ministry, is dealing with the Christian shadow. I think conventional Christianity has done a tremendous amount of damage. And I come from a Southern Baptist type hellfire brimstone background. So I just share that with you because I would not be sitting up here as a minister in Unity if I hadn't learned a completely different take on teachings that I had been fed as a kid. So my understanding of what Unity holds about Jesus is that he was a human being who eventually discovered eventually discovered the depth of himself and his divinity and evolved fully into Christ consciousness. Christ is not Jesus's last name, and Christ consciousness predates Jesus. We all have Christ consciousness in us. Unity is very much about the teachings of Jesus rather than the teachings about Jesus. And that was the only thing that opened me up to even be open to consider Jesus anymore. So I just offer that to you.
begging to be asked. Yes? Heather, do you have one? Okay. Must be our... This always can go on forever. It's such a great opportunity, but we're going to have to...
We were wrong. So I've been called to read the Bible this year, and as a follow-up to this, what are your thoughts on the fear of the Lord?
Awe and wonder of that which we call the Lord. And the Lord really means that which we give authority to. So whatever it is that you consider something that instills wonder in you.
Very quickly, there are a couple of really useful books. I think one of them is called How to Read the Bible Again for the First Time, which gives a more, Unity puts a metaphysical take on Bible scriptures, which really changes up the story. And Reverend Jane is great about being able to also take a lot of it back to original Aramaic language, which radically changes the tone of the interpretation. So both of those things might be helpful.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend. And we're going to have Soulshine come and serenade us after a meditation first.
Wow. So if we could just close our eyes, if we feel comfortable doing that. If we can feel our feet connected to this Pachamama, beautiful Gaia earth. And we're going to call on the power of remembrance through this meditation. And the remembrance is about who we are, why we're here, and how many gifts we have to share. So as I play my flute, you can go anywhere you want to, the beach or a mountaintop, any place that's special to you in your heart. And when you're there and you hear the flute sounds, I want you to remember all of the times in the world that we have performed miracles together because of the unification of the Christ consciousness, because of the unification of love and peace. So we're going to remember that. And then the part two of that is as you hear the sounds, I want you to remember that sound carries love, carries vibration. So please take this opportunity as I play this flute to really send vibrations out to everyone, every being, every animal, every mammal, everybody out there, any war-torn places, that energy can go there and soothe the troubled waters.
And I am willing for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family, and there is sorrow in my town. There is panic all across the nation, and there is wailing the whole world round. But I am open, and I am willing for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, and may the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though they burn our eyes. But I am open, and I am willing for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty oak to hold my confusion, and give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder, and give me an ocean to hold my tears. But I am open, and I am willing for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up, lift me to the light of change. I am open, and I am willing.
Almost completely different from how we rehearsed it. God, I love this place.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, what have our kiddos brought for us? What does that say? That's beautiful, you guys. Woo. Thank you, kiddos. Thank you, Soul Shine. Thank you, Reverends. That was awesome. Thank you guys for your questions. Anybody here new today for the first time? We had quite a different day. Wonderful. Would you feel like saying hello? Okay. She's new, but don't look at her. Tommy, were you new today? Was it your first time? Yeah, thank you for sharing your question. That was a really great one. Thank you. Welcome. Anybody else who's new for the first time visiting us today? Well, there are. Hi, do you want to say hello? Say what your name is? Anything? Sure?
This is just so the online people
Just so we can hear you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Mary. It was a beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, share more.
I'm
if
just
you
like,
want.
wow.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. And there are blue cards in the front of the seats. If anybody who's new or is not on getting our newsletter and information, we'd love for you to just put your name in there. We just send out information about what's going on every week. So that's a great way to stay in touch with all the amazing things that we have going on. One of the amazing things we have going on is that we're thinking of ourselves a little differently. I'd like you guys to join me in thinking of this as a spiritual co-op. Doesn't that resonate? That's kind of cool, right? We're not a church. You know, that feels churchy sometimes, but some of us don't really like to use the word church, but then church can be a beautiful thing. If it means connection, if it means sacredness, if it means a space that you can share spiritual connection with other people. But what I think really resonates with me is the idea that we're all in this together, that we are building this community, we're growing this community as a cooperative. And that really resonates with me because as a co-op, we all give, we all participate, we all do our part. And that's the only way that it works if we're all doing our part. So I'd love to invite you guys to think of it that way. And when you're contributing, we're going to pass our baskets around, which is kind of a traditional thing, but you know, it does have to be done. And in the basket, you can put your prayer claim forms, you can put your blue cards, and of course, if you have some monetary goodies to share with us, throw those in the basket. We also love it if you contribute online. One of the things that we do, Claire and I have done for many years, is that we sign up for auto giving. We set an amount that we give every month, and we don't have to think about it. It's just like one of those things that we know is going to be taken out, and it makes it so much easier because we just plan for that every month. And we know that we're going to be supporting our community whether we're traveling or out of town or whatever it happens to be. So consider that. It's easy to do, easy to set up. So come on up here, lovely greeters. We got two. Where's our third? Ta-da! We're going to send these baskets around, and then we'll bless them when they come back. Right now, they are pretty full already. People have been doing good stuff. And when they come back, we're going to bless them. So, boom. Go, go, go.
I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you.
Mahalo.
I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. I got gratitude in my heart. Gratitude in my soul. In my soul, baby. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. And thank you. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
Good job, good job.
All right, if you would join me, please. We're affirming this abundance by blessing the gifts we have here. From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you, thank you. And our prayer of intention today is the way we send ourselves out into the world, what we take with us beyond Sunday, every day of the week. And we're going to think about all the beautiful things going on. We have our Northwest conference is bringing all the ministers here this week to study, and so we're infusing this place with our loving energy so that they can have an amazing experience starting Monday, Tuesday. And there's so many good things happening this week that we want to make sure we leave with this right intention. So here we go. holy light shines within and all around me, a presence of love that is always there. I am that presence. I am a radiant field of love energy. I am holy light. My essence cradles and guides me. I am a gift in this world. I go forth from here in joy to bless the world with my loving light. And so it is. Have a beautiful week, everybody.
Oh, yeah. I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. And I just want to say thank you. And I just want to say thank you.